And at this time, I would like to invite the mayor of Mundelein to keep the momentum going of all the positive things going on in the communities. Please welcome Mayor Steve Lenz.
Thank you very much, Hal. Thank you to the GLMV for hosting this great event. I enjoy this immensely, just answering questions, especially at the end. We're here at the front table. Let me introduce some of the folks here from Mundelein. Trustee Ray Semple, go ahead and just raise your hand as I call you. There he is. Dawn Abernathy, trustee. She's a candidate for state office as well. Kirsten Russell, trustee. Our village administrator, John Lebedo. There he is. Our acting director of community development, Amanda Orenchuk, right here. Our communications director, Don Jenich. And then our intern, Jonathan Kellogg, doing a great job for us. So you can see here, some things never change. And what I want to get to is, of course, the state of baseball in Lake County. And you know, you never learn, Terry. I mean, I figured you'd have something in there about this. But here we have the state tournament coming up. The Lincolnshire sectional, Mundelein's seated second. And when you go down the list, we can see here that, wait a minute, there we go. Perfect. Libertyville's at 7 down there.
Won't it be a big upset if Mundelein loses?
Well, you know, to be fair, Mundelein lost a few close games to Libertyville this year, and if with any luck, they'll meet, I think, 2 rounds after this, and hopefully they'll have a nice collision of the Titans there. So, you know, if you were to ask what's new in Mundelein, what I'd like to discuss is all the construction and investment going on in town, and that's the theme here, kind of taking off from Mayor Wasaki's theme as well with TIF districts and everything. And so we start out with 2 items that I presented last year to everyone. First off is the real large high school addition going on right now, and they're going to open in the fall. They're on schedule. It's the STEM addition. It's about 25 classrooms, 52,000 feet. And what we've learned since then last year at this time, this facility will house one of the 12 electron microscopes in high schools throughout the country. It'll be the second electron microscope in Illinois. It's in a nanotech lab there at the high school. So we're real pleased with that, and that facility is wonderful. They've given us all tours. It's a wonderful facility for students. The other thing I reported on last year, give you an update, is the housing development where the old Quig's Orchard was. It's called Orchard Meadows. It's 77 units. They started selling these back in December. So from December to the present, not the best season to sell brand new homes, they've sold 29 of those 77 units. So that's outstanding pace for selling new construction here. And I know a lot of builders are looking at this as kind of a gauge to where things are here in Lake County. So we're real pleased with the sales pace going on at Orchard Meadows. Now I'll address other residential development, some commercial work being done, and then a TIF item as well. We have a real nice luxury apartment complex on Diamond Lake that's wrapping up and is getting ready to open. 36 luxury units called the Coves. And keep this in mind because the same builder is talking to us about something going in downtown across the plaza from the Village Hall. But the quality of these is just amazing. You can see the balconies are resting on concrete slabs. Those concrete slabs run through the building and are what divide the floors from each other. So you have concrete floors dividing the levels. In addition, the partitioning walls are all concrete block, meaning that each unit is entirely encased in concrete. So the sound is obviously, it's very quiet. 30 of the 36 have views of Diamond Lake. So it's a wonderful thing opening up on Diamond Lake, just down the road barely from Bill's Pub. Another apartment building going on right now in construction is Fairhaven Crossing, 40 units right next to the post office right there. And several of those units will be designed for folks with disabilities. So that's a lot of construction going on right there. On the commercial side, The old Walgreens site, that's probably 15 years ago. We still call it the old Walgreens site, those of us in town. But right at the corner of 45 and Hawley, right across from Dunkin' Donuts, is a shopping center. And this is undergoing, it's over $1.5 million now, I think, is the budget for this. And he just got the custom steel brought in for the facade and a complete do-over of the facade on this complex. And he's brought in a few more tenants, and another one is expanding. So we're excited about that because it's so visible in our community that so a lot of work going into that. He'll redo the, repave the parking lot and landscaping and everything. Also, new construction on the commercial and O'Reilly's Auto Parts down on 60 and 45 right in front of Jewel, brand new building going up, and that's wrapping up now as well. So obviously a lot of residential, commercial construction. Perhaps if you drive through town, the big thing that is new going on in town regards our roads. And we have a tremendous amount of road construction going on right now, which is wonderful, although it's extremely disruptive. So here's a map just to get your bearings. The top lateral road is 176. Then you have Lake Street 45 on the right going up and down, and then on the left you have 6083 flowing. And so there's three major projects, two of which are currently underway. And the one on the right, it says IDOT Route 45 repaving. That's scheduled for later in the summer, early fall. From 176 down to Woodlawn, a big part, huge chunk of our community, IDOT will be in there repaving 45. And so that's big, it needs it, and we definitely welcome that project. Now, the other two that are going on right now that are somewhat disruptive and mean a lot to the future traffic getting around and everything. On the left, you see the IDOT project, 176 and 6083. If you go to Target out there, you'll note that intersection has always been a nightmare for folks traveling west wanting to turn left. And so IDOT is completely redoing that intersection. And actually, we are with their money. It's all kind of, we're working with them on that. But that's roughly a $5 million project encompassing that entire region there. And then the big one we're doing now is the county, Lake County DOT project on Holly Street, the rehabilitation with the bike path. That's occurring between Midlothian all the way to Chicago, and up to the railroad tracks there. And that's the lateral one that you can see. This is and both projects have taken years to put together. Each project required the purchase of slivers of land from multiple property owners. The Holly Street one, there were 44 different landowners we needed to acquire slivers of land from to get this going. And so right now, we have a season where we have only the westbound traffic is open and all eastbound traffic on Holly is closed. That'll go probably to the late August, something like that. And then it'll kick over, and then we'll have two-way traffic flowing the other way. Right now, this is an aerial shot of the work being done now. We're basically hovering over downtown looking west. And they put in a temporary lane going west there on the right, and then all the dirt section on the left, that's 2 lanes, including, and it'll, the one will be the kind of a left turn lane flowing in both directions eventually when it's done. And so it's been very disruptive to our downtown. We had to come up with a detour, a more detailed way to communicate the detours to get folks to navigate to the businesses on Holly Street. And so those of you that go to Mundelein for some of the restaurants, especially like Frank's for the Memories, Caboose, Dragon Star, Taco Express, those 4 restaurants, if you get over there at all, we're trying to get our residents to support them because they really are missing out on at least half the traffic they would normally get. So that's something that to compliment our staff, we've been very quick on our feet to respond to help those folks out. Finally, on the development side, we are undergoing a TIF district reorganization. We had a TIF initially back in, 2005 or 6? And of course, then the recession kicked in. We had one project take off from that, and we've had the better part of a decade go by coming out of this recession. And so we had to reorganize the TIF. The blue is what we call TIF number 1 now. And we're creating another TIF on the left in green. And that's in part due to, and to Mayor Wysocki's point, when you create a TIF, you want to have a project in mind to kick it off. And so I want to show that to you real quick. That is our Village Plaza, the round oval. It's the European Plaza. Village Hall is on the left. Many of you have been by, and you kind of can envision all the vacant land around it. And so the same developer, remember doing the Diamond Lake property, is talking to us about possibly doing this. It is a significant building across from Village Hall, over 100 apartment units of the same quality as the Diamond Lake one. The ground floor would have 25 to 30,000 feet of retail, shops, restaurants, etc., and it would really define that plaza area and kick it off as a place to be a destination point in Mundelein. And we're excited about this project, getting the TIFs wrapped up so that we can pursue talks, continue and get this thing kicked off. And so we're excited about that. And we call it the Lot 5 development at the plaza. Finally, we have several events like all communities do. The Beer Festival, Park on Park. It's the second Wednesday every month, the largest classic car show in Lake County. Our community days, we have an arts festival and one world festival. But if there's one event that's kind of newer to Mundelein that's really kicking up and attracting folks from outside, it's this one. It's our craft beer festival. And we have our 5th annual one coming up on June 4th. And this is a picture of it from last year. It was the inaugural event on the plaza in front of Village Hall. And you see the tents and the people, but what you don't see is the entrance tents on the left. You had a line, probably 3 people wide, going back at least 100 yards at one point to get into this thing. There was just amazing attendance. This year we're going to have over 30 craft breweries, 2 bands playing between 1 and 5 p.m. on June 4th. So encourage you all to, if you like beer, if you like craft beer especially, go to this event. That'd be great. Thank you very much. I look forward to your questions afterwards.